The Liverpool footballer Diogo Jota has been killed in a car crash. That's being reported by a Spanish state-owned TV station, citing local firefighters.
Local police in the city of Zamora in the northwest of Spain have confirmed that the accident happened at 12:30 this morning.
A footballer, a father, a husband, a brother. Gone in an instant. On the night of July 2nd, 2025, Diogo Jota, one of Portugal's finest forwards and a beloved Liverpool player, died in a horrifying car crash in Spain, along with his younger brother, André Silva. But what exactly happened that night? Why were they on the road instead of flying, and how did the football world react to such a heartbreaking loss? But before we talk about that, let's take a moment to remember who Diogo Jota really was. Diogo Jota was one of those footballers who always gave 100%. He wasn't just talented, he was smart on the field, quick with the ball, and had a real eye for scoring goals. But before all the fame, before the big stadiums and trophies, Jota was just a boy from Porto, Portugal, who dreamed of becoming a football star. He was born on December 4th, 1996 in Porto. Like many kids in Portugal, he grew up loving football. It didn't take long for people to notice how good he was. He started his professional career at a smaller club called Pacos de Ferreira. Even at a young age, he played with confidence and maturity. He wasn't afraid of tough games, and you could see he had something special. After impressing there, he made a big move to FC Porto, one of Portugal's top clubs. Then, his career really started to take off when he went to Atletico Madrid, although he never played a match for them. Instead, he was loaned out to Wolverhampton Wanderers, also known as Wolves, a club in England, and that's where things started to change in a big way. At Wolves, Jota became a regular starter. He played fast, pressed high, and scored important goals. He helped them get promoted to the Premier League and stayed with them as they fought hard against the big clubs in England. Fans started to love him, not just because he scored goals, but because he worked so hard for the team. He wasn't flashy or arrogant, he just got the job done. In 2020, Liverpool came calling. That was a huge moment. Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager at the time, believed in him, and Jota didn't disappoint. At Liverpool, he became one of the few key players in Klopp's system. He wasn't always the starter, since Liverpool already had stars like Salah, Mane, and Firmino. But whenever he played, he made an impact. He scored 65 goals in just 182 games. That's a big number, especially considering he was often rotated in and out of the starting 11. In the 2024-25 season, just a few months before his death, Jota helped Liverpool win the Premier League again. That made it their 20th title, equaling Manchester United's record. Jota played in 26 league games that season, scored 6 goals, and gave 4 assists. Even if he wasn't always the star of the show, his contributions were huge. Now, let's go back to the night everything changed. What exactly happened on that road in Spain? The accident took place in the early hours of July 3rd, 2025, around 12:30 a.m. It was dark and quiet on the A52 motorway, a road in Zamora, which is in northwestern Spain, not too far from the border with Portugal. Jota was in a Lamborghini and he wasn't alone. His younger brother, André Silva, was with him. Both were footballers. Jota played for Liverpool and the Portugal national team, and André Silva played for a club called Penafiel in Portugal's second division. They were not just out for a late-night drive, they had a reason to be on the road. Jota had recently gone through a small surgery on his lungs in Porto, and because of that, his doctors told him it wasn't safe to fly. So, instead of taking a plane back to England for pre-season training with Liverpool, he made another plan. Drive to the city of Santander and take a ferry to the UK. That's where they were headed. True brothers on a long drive through Spain, probably listening to music and talking about football, family, or life. But things went terribly wrong. According to reports from the Spanish Civil Guard, which is like national police, the Lamborghini was trying to overtake another vehicle. During that maneuver, one of its tires suddenly burst. That one small thing, a tire blowing out, changed everything in a split second. The car lost control. It swerved off the road near kilometer 64 in a small town called Cernadea. Then it flipped over the middle of the highway, slammed into the barrier, and caught fire. Eyewitnesses who drove by later described the car as completely burned. Some even shared dashcam footage showing flames and skid marks on the road. It was a terrifying scene. Emergency services were called, but by the time they got there was nothing they could do. The fire had already done its damage. The car was destroyed. Both Diogo Jota and his brother André had died on the spot. There were no survivors. No one else was involved either. Just the two brothers and the car. It's not known for sure who was driving the car, but that detail doesn't really change the outcome. What matters is that two young lives were lost. Police later confirmed their identities using documents found in the car and the license plate. Some people have asked if speed was also a factor in the crash. A government official in Zamora said that's one thing investigators are still looking into. But right now, the main reason being reported is the tire blowout while overtaking. It's scary how fast things can go from normal to deadly. 1 second they were just driving on a quiet road, the next, everything changed. The road where the crash happened is known for being kind of isolated, so there weren't many other cars around at that hour. Maybe that's why help came too late. Photos from the crash site show deep tire marks, broken guardrails, and burnt grass where the car caught fire. It's a sad and painful image, especially when you realize that the people inside that car had so much life ahead of them. But Jota wasn't alone. His younger brother André Silva was also in the car, and his story deserves to be remembered too. Over the years, André played more than 100 matches for Penafiel, including both youth and full senior level games. During that time, he scored 12 goals and gave 10 assists. Those may not sound like crazy numbers compared to Premier League stats, but for a player in a second division team, they're solid. They show consistency and teamwork. André wasn't just out to score for himself, he helped others score too. From what people say, André was known for being a humble, quiet guy who stayed focused on his training. He didn't chase fame or headlines, he wasn't flashy on the pitch, he just did his job, respected the game, and earned the respect of his teammates and coaches. He had the kind of attitude that every team needs: hardworking, supportive, and reliable. Even though André lived in the shadow of his older brother's big success, he never let that define him. He had his own path. While Diogo was playing at huge stadiums with thousands of fans, André was working through the ranks, giving his all in every match, even if only a few hundred people were watching. That takes heart. And the truth is, the Silva brothers shared more than just football. They shared dreams, memories, childhood moments, kicking a ball in the street, and probably that friendly sibling competition that pushed both of them to be better. That bond was strong. Friends close to them say the two were inseparable, so it's even more painful knowing they died together side by side in the same car. After the accident, Penafiel posted a message on their social media honoring André. Teammates and fans shared photos and messages, calling him a great teammate and a fighter on the field. That says a lot. Sometimes, how you're remembered by the people around you means more than how many trophies you win. The crash left everyone in shock. But for the family, what came next was even more painful: identifying their sons and bringing them home. The crash happened so fast and the fire made everything worse. It wasn't easy for officials to immediately confirm who was in the car. The bodies were badly burned and the scene was very chaotic. But the police found documents inside the car, like IDs or personal items, and they also checked the car's license plate. That's how they were able to figure out that the people inside were Jota and André. After that, bodies were taken to a nearby town called Puebla de Sanabria. There is a morgue there where the authorities did a full forensic analysis. This means they ran tests to officially confirm their identities, just to be 100% sure. CNN Portugal reported that the process was handled carefully and professionally, with respect for the victims and their families. Later that same day, the Silva family arrived at Puebla de Sanabria. Imagine how painful that must have been. Having to travel to another country to identify your loved ones, fill out forms, and bring them back home. No family should ever have to go through something like that. But they stayed strong and did everything they had to so Jota and André's bodies could be returned to Portugal for the funeral. The whole situation felt unreal. Just a few days earlier, Jota had been celebrating with his teammates. He had just gotten married, he was on top of the world. And then, in one night, everything was gone. Fans across Portugal, Spain, and England were heartbroken. People kept checking the news, hoping it wasn't true, but it was. As for the cause of the crash, that's still being looked into. The Spanish Civil Guard, which is like national police, said the main reason for the crash seems to be a burst tire. But some officials are also investigating the possibility of speeding. The car was a high-performance sports car. It's super fast. On an empty road at night, it's not hard to imagine that speed might have played a role, but still nothing has been confirmed yet. Investigators are going over all the evidence to find out exactly what happened and why. The moment people find out about Diogo Jota and André Silva's death, everything stopped. For a while, it didn't feel real, but sadly it was, and the pain was deep. Not just in Portugal, but around the whole world. On July 4th, a wake was held in Gondomar, the brothers' hometown in Portugal. It was quiet, emotional, and full of love. Hundreds of people came, some who knew them personally and many who didn't but just wanted to say goodbye. People brought flowers, scarves, and jerseys, placing them outside the church and on the streets. Some fans cried, others just stood in silence, struggling to believe that both boys were really gone. The funeral was held the next day on July 5th at 10 a.m. at Igreja Matriz de Gondomar. The whole town came to a stop. People lined the streets, some holding pictures of Jota and André. It wasn't just a football goodbye, it felt like the entire country was saying farewell to two of their own. But the mourning wasn't just happening in Portugal, the whole world reacted. From football legends to celebrities, messages of love and shock came pouring in. Cristiano Ronaldo, Jota's teammate on the Portugal national team, wrote, "This doesn't make sense." He was clearly heartbroken. Ronaldo said he had just been with Jota during the Nations League games. He even mentioned how Jota had only recently gotten married. His words showed just how fast and cruel life can be. LeBron James, one of the biggest basketball stars and also a part owner of Liverpool, shared his condolences. So did Prince William, the future King of England. Even Rafael Nadal, the tennis legend, spoke out. These are people who don't always post about football, but this moment was different. Everyone felt it. UEFA also paid tribute and announced that a moment of silence would be held during upcoming Euro 2025 matches to honor both Jota and André. This wasn't just a club loss or a national team loss, it felt like a loss for the whole sport. At Anfield, Liverpool's home stadium, fans created a beautiful tribute. Outside the gates, people laid scarves, jerseys, handwritten notes, and pictures. One note read, "Rest in peace, Jota lad," and another one said, "Thanks for the memories." There was even a framed photo of a fan with Jota, and underneath it, a message saying how much their family loved him. It wasn't just Liverpool fans who showed love, there were scarves from Everton, Rangers, and Leeds United too. That's the kind of respect Jota earned. Even rival fans were mourning him. Many fans called Jota an adopted Scouser, which means they considered him one of their own, like a true Liverpool local. That's not something you hear every day, but it shows how connected he was to the city and the people. Arne Slot, Liverpool's new manager, also shared a powerful message. He said, "We will remember his goals and sing his song. For now, we mourn a unique human being." It was a short sentence, but it said everything. Jota wasn't just a footballer, he was a person, a teammate, a friend, a father, a husband, and now, a memory that will never fade. Sometimes we get so caught up in football, goals, wins, stats, trophies, that we forget the players are human too. We watch them on TV, we cheer when they score, we argue over who's better, but behind every jersey is a real person. A son, a brother, a dad, and a friend. What happened to Diogo Jota and André Silva isn't just a sports tragedy, it's a life reminder. One moment, Jota was preparing for preseason training with Liverpool. He had just played in the Nations League final for Portugal. He had just gotten married, he had plans, he was thinking about the next match, the next challenge, and then in one moment, everything was gone. It didn't matter how fit he was, or how much money he had, or how many fans loved him. Life doesn't care about fame. When something tragic happens, it doesn't choose based on how famous you are. That's what hurts the most. It shows how fragile life can be. We always think we have time. Time to fix things, to enjoy moments, to tell people we love them. But the truth is, no one knows how much time they really have. We may never know the full truth about what caused the crash. Maybe it was just bad luck, maybe it was speed, maybe it was something mechanical that failed at the wrong time. It doesn't really matter now because the result is the same. 2 families are broken, a team has lost a brother, a nation is mourning. If this video touched you, share it with someone, let their memory live on not just for their goals but for the love and kindness they gave to the world.